Is it still possible to get rich from sports betting? For those capable, the answer is a definite yes. In this video, we're going to go through the different levels and what you need to understand. So if you want to be a betting beast, keep it here. We should just quickly cover why people lose at sports betting and what you should do about it. This video is not about losers, but a quick reminder of the fatal errors of why people lose is in order. Now, top of my list is not believing in the process. This comes down to being in a bad environment, surrounded by the wrong people. Examples of such are like betting shop banter, forums, naysayers as friends. Making no effort, being entitled, lazy and arrogant are all bad traits and can only lead to losses. Believing free tips is the way to go when most sites are affiliates who make money from followers' losses is just plain stupid. Loyalty to one betting platform is obvious. After all, sportsbooks win because they build in a profit margin. The obvious way around this is to get more accounts and help yourself to better odds. For anyone chasing losses or compulsive by nature, go and get some help. If you just want a quick side hustle from sports betting, that's okay. Let's talk about it. The first level of profitable betting is what I would deem the side hustle. No betting experience is required to take advantage of sportsbook bonus, and if executed correctly, profits are assured. Match betting websites such as OddsMonkey will make the journey easy. While there is a small subscription cost, in 2 to 6 months, all the profits should have been banked. For those wanting a long-term side hustle, consider arbitrage, value betting, and each-way thieving. Using these strategies will help create a long-term income. Again, software will make life easy. Just Google the term for your best local option. If this is your level and you need more understanding, we did some videos and I'll link them in the description. Following the small side hustle and your accounts begin to dry up, this is what you need to do next to make it into a small business. In a typical business, making the first 100k is the most difficult. In professional betting, the opposite is true. In short, finding an edge is easy, scaling is the difficult part. Nevertheless, if you're hoping to make 5 to 20k per month out of sports betting, the basics are relatively simple. So, first things first, those profiting from what we call soft books will need more betting accounts. The reason is simple. This class of sportsbook are bad losers and they restrict winners. For those using this method, please listen carefully. New accounts are useless if you don't cover your tracks. Registering the wife isn't enough. The same name and address will give it away. Betting from the same IP is a big mistake, even if it's on public computers of your local college. Using the same computer mobile telephone can be easily tracked. In other words, understand technology and how to circumvent being detected. Use a different computer phone for each account, or alternatively, buy in hardware to cover your ass. Also, be careful about banking. Bookmakers do know that it's easy to get a Revolut account, and so, look beyond that. It depends obviously where you are, but bear that in mind. Once technically covered, the betting process is easy. And for better performance, I'm going to suggest you subscribe to more software services because they will give you alternatives. Consider in-play betting. It's more difficult for bookmakers to control, and margins are much bigger. Middling is another way of value betting. You can also use betting shops for leverage, and just learn to think a little bit out of the box. And for those having ambitions of moving beyond soft books, meaning betting with Asian brokers and exchanges, learn to become an originator, meaning find your own bets. Alternatively, source betting picks from third parties, such as paid services. I would also recommend building a network for sharing info. In this instance, find people on the same level. If they are above your level, you will be no value to them, and vice versa. Finally, I'm speaking in generalizations. Betting in each country is different and you will just need to adapt to your local situation. Are you capable of growing the business? Then this is what you need to do next. Well, it's shameless, I know. If you made it this far in the video, I would appreciate a like and subscribe. It helps me grow the channel and then I can help you further. So back to it. There is another level before we get to the big winners, and I would call it serious betting. In my experience, most pro bettors hit a brick wall at around $20,000 a month. One of the reasons for this is they are isolated and they fail to see the bigger picture. While I can understand the reluctance to change, they are limiting themselves and failing to scale. With that said, if you need a bit of inspiration, one of my clients is making 80 to 100k per month from simple value betting, and there are more ways to roam. It is fair to suggest to reach this level you will need to streamline the operation. Delegating workloads is a good way to start. In other words, get others making you profit. While introducing betting bots is an option, they can be detected more easily. So for those of you who are less technical, look towards the Philippines for remote workers. They are loyal, cost little and do a good job. In an ideal world, your team should be able to identify and place bets on your behalf. You might want to consider building a tipster testing module. For those passing the play-in test, pay them a performance-related fee. What about them moving the border? Learn to look beyond your own country and find ways to get more betting accounts. If in the US, you might want to look at PPH, pay-per-head accounts. Partner up with a Brit for lower commission on exchanges, or find other people that can help you get Asian betting accounts. If you have enough meat in the game, ask agents for a rebate and lower exchange commission fees. Whatever the scenario, to be successful and break out of the self-made bubble, network hard and learn to think out of the box. To become very rich at sports betting, this is what you're going to have to do. To get very rich from this game, you will need a big understanding. Many have tried with sports betting hedge funds and failed, and the reason for this is they didn't think it through. Take Mark Cuban for example. He once got behind the Central Galileo fund, but it never found its feet. The same can be said for the Cloney fund from Prioma Capital. After paying out a dividend of 17% on 118% profit, the cost of operating killed the business. Ditto Stratagem Technologies, another fly-by-night hedge fund. On a more upbeat note, thousands have succeeded and none needed hedge fund investment. To name but a few, Tony Bloom and his company Star Lizard. He is said to be worth around 1.6 billion, with most of his fortune made from betting. Bloom went on to acquire Brighton Football Club. Matthew Benham is another Brit, a former Bloom employee who went on to create Smart Odds and buy Brentford Football Club. He's said to be worth around 280 million. In the US, Billy Walters is estimated to be worth more than 200 million, all of it made from betting. Bill Bentner is a name you should know. He's said to have amassed over 1 billion from horse racing. And what about the Australian, Zelko Ranacek? Now, he was pumping the markets at Betfair along with his partner Mike Walsh. Ranacek is worth at least 400 million. Another Aussie, Alan Woods, who sadly died, he was one of the original pioneers of this game and he made millions too. The big winners from betting have one thing in common. They all invested in the infrastructure. For example, football betting syndicates operate with game watchers who feed information in live data. Analysts work along with traders on analysing the incoming data and placing the bets. And at the top of the tree is the quants, the model builders. If you have big ambitions, what I can share with you is the following. Think liquidity. The betting market has a tipping point and you shouldn't be betting against your own money. The more volume you have, the more rebates you can expect. Now in Asia, it's typical to get 0.1 to 0.2% back on volume. With big turnover, negotiate with betting exchanges. Back in the day, they used to pay us for supplying volume, and believe me, you can still get rebates. You don't need such a big operation to clear $1 million a year. However, you will need to do things right. Also, there are more agents in Asia than the ones you see promoting themselves on the internet. Start networking early and find them. If you are using third parties employing people, think of a legal structure. As a minimum, get suppliers to sign agreements and contracts. Pay quick and make a good name for yourself. Others will want to do business with you. Also, be ruthless, be decisive, tell people no. Finally, don't forget, action speaks louder than words. If you do understand the above, then please don't forget to give us a like and a comment. So we've established that anybody can win at sports betting, but how far you can take it is down to the individual. You're going to have to put in the effort, you're going to have to make sacrifices and, treat it as business, right? If you can do that, then of course you're going to be very successful. Now the thing is, right, we do a mentorship program for the people that really want to expedite the process, so bear that in mind. That's it for now. You're through to bootcamp again. We'll see you in the next one soon. Take care. Bye-bye.